All right, and YouTube is here. Hello, YouTube, and thanks everybody for joining. On yesterday, we talked about I am the multiplier, and we were talking about women on yesterday. I told the men, y'all go ahead on about your business because this about the young women, the young ladies, and the grown ladies that know this already. But I was just making sense of the fact that women are the multiplier. If you want to, if you're a woman in the physical reality, or if you have a daughter, have a niece, I encourage you to click on the link in my bio if you're on in my bio if you're on TikTok, and go to my YouTube channel, and you'll see the last live from yesterday. It is really juicy, good information that I wish that I knew as a young lady, as a little girl coming up. But you live and then you learn. And so the purpose of yesterday's video was to help the little girls, my nieces, the daughter that I had never had. It was dedicated to the daughter that I never had, because I even on TikTok, I have a backup page called God is Just Be Jazzy, dedicated to the daughter that I never had, to throw some wisdom back, to give back to mankind. But today we're talking to men. I do have in the physical reality, two young men in the physical reality, Jarrett and Jamyrin. And these are my sons, my SUN energy. In me being a multiplier, I want to dedicate this video to my boys, and I also want to dedicate this video to my men, my men and the gentlemen, because there are two expressions of men in the physical reality. Everything is two-sided. And I want to dedicate this video to the men that support me, as well as the gentlemen that support me. Hey, Sandra. Hey, the lovely. Hey, thank y'all for being here on my YouTube channel. I appreciate the love and support. So yesterday, women, ladies, we talked about I am the multiplier. And to sum up yesterday's video, when we were talking about I am the multiplier, I shared to you that you could very well likely be with a zero, a person, a man that does not know himself. So if you're the multiplier, 0 times whatever you multiplying still gonna get you to 0. And this explained yesterday why you begin to act like a chicken head, why you don't know yourself, why you lose yourself, why even though you have 2 incomes, you're never making it with this particular person, because you're with a so-called 0, right? So today I want to expand on that. And we're gonna expand on that by talking to the men and letting the men know their purpose. Because what I was not saying is that all men are always gonna just be zeros. What I was not saying or trying to do was get on just the lady side and old team feminine energy. And, oh yeah, we run this kind of like, no, that is not my purpose. All is God having a human experience, and all has the innate ability to tap into source energy when they're ready. So I want to breathe life into my men that support me and that I love. And as a woman, as a mother, I'm speaking from nurturing. I mean, I know these men go out, they listen to the podcasts and, they fellow men and everything. And some men, the woman telling the man, look, you need both feminine and masculine principles in order to become your whole oneness. So I encourage you to listen, but if you give deaf ears and keep on going about your business, you go ahead on and wild out and do your thing. Blessings to you. So here we go. So when I define you as being 0, low frequency, what I'm really saying to you men is that you don't know yourself just yet. And that's okay in the physical reality. But I don't want you to think that you have to stay there and be the nothingness of not knowing yourself. And not knowing yourself has to do with this here. You're not tapping into who you are, your beingness. So I'm gonna get to the point, because y'all logical and y'all just want it simple and plain. I don't have to be here longer like I was yesterday with you all, and plus I got something to do. So you ever heard that men are providers, that men are protectors, and men are professors? They should be that. Any man ever heard this here? Any woman ever heard this about the men? That's their job. That's their job. Woman was here first. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that information. Anybody ever heard that before? Okay, good. So this is how you become to get to know yourself or tap into yourself and not be this 0 when you meet your multiplier, and everything that she multiplies turns into 0. This is how you begin to become your 1. So that way, when you meet your multiplier, then when you multiply by 1, it will have your sum having a numerical digit outside of being at zero. You do that for yourself. So what am I saying here? I'm saying, yeah, I've heard that before. Thank you, Sandra. I'm saying you have to first provide for yourself as a man to tap into your oneness. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Why am I saying that? Because you need to know as a man how to balance your own money, how to pay your own bills, your little personal bills. I'm talking about when you teenager in your 20s, how to balance your finances, how to provide things for you, nourishment for your body. How to take care of your body when your little, and I'm going to talk in code because we got TikTok on here. When your tree trunk is secreting some fluids, you got to make sure that your fluids that is secreting is healthy fluids before you can get into this union and become one. Before you can become one, you got to learn these things. Providing for you mean how you smell. You have some type of, it don't have to be a whole collection. You have one little fragrance that you could spray on. You could smell and scent matter. This is provision. What about your boxers? That little stretch, that elastic around the waist. Is it stretched all out of proportion and it don't have no grip no more? What about your shoes? What about your personal hygiene thing? Provisions. You have to first learn how to provide for yourself, because sometimes we have these men that are on E, that are empty, that are zero. They think, oh, I gotta provide for her, but they don't do nothing for themselves. And that don't help you to become the oneness, because I'm gonna bring it full circle. But first you need you to know that the provision part first is for you. For you, before the female energy, before the woman come forth, you gotta provide for you first. You gotta protect for you first. You gotta be looking out for you, for the greater good of you first. You know how y'all be up in the club? I pay attention. I love men. I love people watching. I pay attention. You know how they be up in the club? They pay attention to everything and everybody that walk up in the door. Yeah. They're protecting. But you got to protect and look out for you first. You got to look out for who you talking to, who you sharing your information to, for who is in it for your greater good, who always cheering you on. And who might be that serpent or that snake or that one that'll betray you. You got to protect you. You got to provide for you. And you also got to profess your love for you. Do you know how to profess your love for you as a man? I'm talking about the I amness of you, the substance of you. Who do you say you are? Are you professing it? Or you like, man, I don't know, man. These women, this, da, 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 this, all of this outside that. Talking about all of this outside that. But what about you? Who do you say you are? What is the role that you play in the physical reality for you? Do you know how to nourish you, how to cook for you, how to provide for you, how to whisper sweet nothing to you? Man, I'm going to make it. I always come out. Man, I'm better than this here. There's greatness inside of me. Do you know how to speak life inside of you before you get into a union? This is the thing that make you one versus the zero, the nothingness, the reject that I was talking about yesterday, that women should be seriously asking themselves, do I want to multiply with you? Do I want to create with you? Or are you the nothingness? So in order for you not to sit there and be that stone that the builders rejected, you got to be one. And your oneness starts with you. All of that provision, providing and protecting and professing that they tell you that you need to do for a woman, you got to know how to do this for yourself. And let me bring it full circle for you. If you don't do this for yourself, then you get in a relationship and you zero, you got you a multiplier. You got you a multiplier, which is the woman. 0 times your multiplier. Everything that y'all touch still going to be 0. And it's predicated based upon you, your essence. Your essence. This is why they say the man is the head, the leader. Okay, because it's either this 0 or this 1 energy or frequency that you're exerting times the multiplier You the leader of it all. And nothing from nothing leaves nothing. If you don't know yourself, that's akin to nothing. And so you get in a relationship with a woman who's supposed to be the multiplier. You get in that relationship, and now because you don't know yourself and you're still a zero, you need substance. You need breast milk. So the person who you first get in a relationship with, if you own zero, I'm bringing it full circle for you to get the full picture. If you own zero, you get in a first relationship with a so-called woman, you know what's going to happen? You still need mama's breast milk. And so that woman, she got to nurture you. And then years, you still sucking on her as if she your mama. And then years and years, and they'll call this woman the little Barbara, the builder lady, the builder man lady. But she really just your mama. And she's just an extension to your mother because you didn't become one when you were with your mother, because nobody never nurtured you. Nobody never told you about how to connect and get to this oneness of knowing yourself, providing for yourself, protecting yourself. So now you gonna blame all the other women. But you're going to cling to that woman. You're going to attract a woman that's going to give you that nourishment. And then lo and behold, one day it's going to come. You ain't going to want nibble off of her milk no more. You're going to graduate. You ain't going to want milk no more. You're going to want meat. And this is why the dynamic of a relationship, sometimes the men that get married to that woman that became their mother. And then they begin to resent her. I can't be with her. She had too much like my mama. But guess what? In order for you to attract somebody that act like your mama, you had to still be a babe. You had to still be a zero. You had to still need milk because mama only show up if you still on the titty. Okay? So it's a reflection of you not knowing yourself. So this is how you become one. This is how you become one. Mind, body, and soul. Protecting, professing, providing for yourself as a man. Yeah. Your mother was supposed to teach you this here. Daddy was supposed to teach you this here. But they have some men in the physical reality that never really graduate to become gentlemen. Gentlemen understand this about himself. Gentlemen understand how to embrace the totality of masculine energy and feminine energy. Because men, we have both. Women and men both have feminine principle and masculine principles embedded inside of them. And so when I talk about nurturing yourself, yeah, that's part of your feminine principle that you're supposed to be able to circle back and utilize within yourself. Yeah, loving on yourself, taking care of yourself inside and out, radiating the I amness that you are one already, that you're whole already. You getting this part, man? I'm hopeful. I know you be quiet on my live, but that's okay. You listening. And so here's the thing about becoming one and being whole. And I share this here kind of stuff with my boys because I tell them all the time, look, I ain't raising no ducks now. What's going on? What's going on? I actually call my boys. I have two boys, a bright skinned one and a dark skinned one. One is Black God and one is Black Jesus. That's what I call them. And as a mother, if any of you women listening out here, there comes a moment in your life where you got to make sure your boys are one and not going out here exerting their energy of the nothingness. Being that stone that the builders rejected, and no woman will really want to be with them because they have nothingness. And we do have some in the physical reality. They talk about them being the provider and the leader. You gotta submit. You gotta do this. You gotta because I'm the what they call this thing. I'm the high value man. Yeah, you gotta submit. I need you to bow down. Da 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 da. But there be nothingness. You get with them and they so busy telling you what they want you to do, and they have no substance. Really, what I'm talking about, those of you that are conscious, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the unconscious man versus the conscious man. So back to what I was saying, as it pertains to the woman, the mother, you gotta make sure your boys, before they your purpose too, along with their daddy, and especially if their daddy is not present, you gotta make sure your boy is whole and he done became one. So therefore, when he meet his multiplier, the feminine energy, that they can multiply and have a son. And instead of your daughter-in-law feeling as though she can't make ends meet. And nothing is working out for her. And she's sitting up there wondering why. It was because your son was a zero. And 0 times any multiplier going to be 0. If you care about your daughter-in-law, if you care about your grandchildren, you will make sure that your son is on. He's whole, mind, body, and soul. He know how to protect himself, provide for himself, and profess his love for himself first. And so there comes a time in the physical reality as a mother, you got to make sure, just kind of like on a matrix, you got to make sure that he know who he is, despite the fact that I and it reminds me of my dad, and he used to do this to me, and I didn't understand why. Despite the fact that I called them Black Jesus and I called them Black God, I got to be like, well, I don't know, bro. What's going on here? I don't know. I don't know. You got to show me. Kind of like the movie The Matrix, because I represent balance. I want to make sure everybody around me has the proper balance. I'm like the oracle. I'm a B blood type. If you know anything about B blood types, you know we're brilliant mind. We like the oracle energy in the physical reality. So we're going to test you. We're going to see what you made of. Any B parents out there that test their boys to see what they made of? You got to show me. Kind of like when Neo went to the oracle, Neo, N-E-O, went to the oracle to find out if he was the one. I'm sorry, kid. I wish I could tell you was. Knowing darn well, she knew that there was greatness inside of him. She knew that he was the O-N-E, not just the N-E-O, but she had to tell him, no, kid, sorry. Because I want you to show me. And so sometimes as a mother, hey, Chosen, thank you for being here. As a mother, you got to let them boys show you. Because I tell them all the time, look, I ain't raising no ducks. What's going on in your kingdom, God? What's going on in your kingdom? Nah, you got to show me. This is an extension of generational wealth. The wealth part being that they're wealthy and rich inside of them. Show me. And then they'll be like, Mom, man, you tripping, man. What are you talking about? Man, what are you talking about, Mom? Man, I could da. Okay, well, let me see that. Let me see that, son. Even the birds of the air, in the animal kingdom, they let their babies, the mothers let their babies, the darn birds are knock the darn mama off of a cliff or something just to see if he can fly. Let me see. Show me. Yeah, show me that you are the one, the O-N-E, Neo. Show me. Because your life is going to depend on it. Your offspring, my grandchildren, I need to know that I'm creating generational wealth on the inside. Forget about what's in your pocket, baby. Because if you have this mental capacity, you can be, do, or have anything in a physical reality. Are you one, Neo? Can you go out there and save yourself? Provide for yourself, profess for yourself, protect yourself. Well, get out there and go save Morpheus and go save yourself. Let me see if you can do it first before you get into a union with any kind of holy trinity. Come on. Thank you, Inner Being. Thank you, Inner Being. Are you one or are you the nothingness? And men, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you have to be in a union with nobody. Be single is all outdoors if that's what you choose to want to do with your energy. You exert your energy in how you want. But let me tell you a little cheat code about the matrix. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Wait, this here phone about to die. Let me charge this one up. Let me tell you a little cheat code about the matrix here. Wait 1 second. When you're in corporate America, wait a minute. Let's see. All right. I'm back. Y'all see my little backdrop? That's cool. It's fine. when you're in corporate America and you're single, let me tell you a cheat code about that. The men, don't think you're gonna get far as it pertains to getting on that board, being on the board, being maybe a manager, director, CEO. Don't think you're gonna get far because corporate America have this hidden secret. Your little single little player, your little lonesome little player. Oh, you could be a little engineer. You could be a little lineman. You could be the little entry level position. But in order for you to get on that board, and in order for you to get in a higher level of senior management, they paying attention. It's about perception. You have to have you a multiplier. You see, you peep game now. All the CEOs and the directors and all, they married. They have a multiplier. This is like a hidden language. They don't really tell you this, but they be judgy at that level. They marry. And then when they get their divorce, it'd be the blink of an eye. They get a divorce. If they do get a divorce, they'll announce, hey, Bob's new wife is right over there. Like, what? Wasn't I just talking to Sandra at the Christmas party? They get a divorce and bam, they married again. Because a player as a zero by his lonesome self that think he got it all figured out and he don't, because he need him a multiplier. he ain't gonna be on the board. He ain't gonna get on the board because corporate America, even in that establishment, they understand you need a multiplier because behind every great man is a great woman. Because he need a multiplier. He don't want to just be at this level of greatness. Not. He want to excel even further. Now you could go and start your own business and be a little single, little player man and sleep with this one, that one, and the third. But that's part of you not knowing yourself. That's part of you running through women. Because actually, the reason why a lot of men, if they try to be braggadocious about it, but I wish they would shut their mouth. A lot of men like and yearn to want to go sleep with this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. Really, what they're doing is trying to find themselves. They're trying to find themselves in the portal of life between the legs of this one, and this one. That's what the ones that still sleep do. Gentlemen don't do that. They graduate when they become a gentleman. Then they realize, oh, I was looking for myself between them legs because I was a zero. I was a zero. I wasn't one just yet. When I became one, I started paying attention to, I can't be sleeping with this one, that, and third. I begin to protect myself. I begin to love on myself because I begin to know myself, and to know myself now I know the totality of God within me. I don't need to be going through this one and that one and that. Those zeros do that. The zeros do that. So corporate America, back to what I was saying about corporate America, they will reject you in your zero-ness. Don't get it twisted. They rejecting you. They judging you in your zero-ness when you ain't whole with yourself and you don't know yourself. Even though they got a lot of sleep ones, they understand that, hey, we need, it's about perception. And it's about being able to have a relationship. If you don't have a relationship with yourself as a zero, it's going to be hard for you to have a relationship with anybody. So that's why you a zero. That's why. That's how they look at that. Okay? So men, this is why it is so important that you become a one. Because when we multiply 1 times 2, we got 2. When we multiply 1 times 3, then we got 3. Anything you put with your oneness is going to multiply and give you a sum that's greater than 0. But if you at 0, and you are that one that I was talking about on yesterday that have nothingness, that have a woman become a chicken head because she done got with you, and the woman is the multiplier, shame on you. Get you some substance. Take you a break between running and jumping in between legs. Take you a break, a moment in time, a pause now. A pause now. Come on now. Pause yourself. Whoa, chemos I'll be up in ya. And get to protecting. And get to professing. And get to providing for yourself. Because here's what also could happen to you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing on this here live because I want to wrap this up and we ain't talking about this in no more. Y'all going to have a good weekend and y'all going to know yourself and then everything going to be great. Here's what also can happen. And I want to tell you also about these women out here. Some of these women don't realize that they multiply. And some of them are zeros. Remember I told you that I was testing my boys, kind of like, seeing what they was working with, because I don't like them, I ain't raising no ducks. My daddy did it with me, so I do it with my boys. I remember I was about 5 or 6 years old, just eating, and my dad was like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What? Nothing, I'm good." "Oh, you ain't sitting over there thinking about no boys." And I'm like, "No, I'm eating cereal. What are you talking about?" And I laugh to this day because I do the same kind of thing with my boys. I'm like, "You all right? Huh? You ain't being no duck, huh?" Yeah, like, "What? No, ma, you tripping, leave me alone." So here's the thing. I was talking to my son one day. He was off in college, and I was just testing just to see what his head was like, to see if he could recognize them women out there that are zeros. Okay? Because I can read energy real good, like, right? And so I was like, "Oh, dude, look over there, 9 o'clock. She's a cutie." He had this little girl at the college, at the university, and she had on a little, a little booty shorts. And she has some pretty little track star kind of legs. And I was like, "Ooh, dude, she nice." And my son said, "Mom, go home. She low frequency." Boy, in the back of my mind, I was like, I am complete. Those of you that know Abraham Hicks, in as far as affirmations are concerned, and in conscious thinking is concerned, she will say at the end of her sessions, I am complete. That's how I was feeling in the back of my mind, because my son said, no, she low frequency. But I also teach you, sometimes when you know these type of things, you got to play dumb, especially as a mother. You got to play dumb sometimes with your children. Like, what you mean? Hey, Rita, thank you for being here. Hey, Robert, what you mean? She low frequency. Tell me more. Meanwhile, I was like, oh, this is good. He know. Train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they grow old, they won't depart from it. Hey, Duke. And he's like, Mom, nah, she low frequency. I'm like, what you mean she low frequency? He's like, she just, don't worry about it, Mom. She just not, I ain't talking to her. I already know everything I need to know about her. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That was my little black Jesus that was telling me that one. And so I would listen to Black God. Now, Black God, he different from Black Jesus. I'm talking about my children. Now, Black God, he different from Black Jesus. He don't care what would Jesus do. He kind of like me. He don't care what would Jesus do. And so I'm trying to see where he is. So I honestly, I was ear hustling. I was in the hallway and I heard him on the phone, and he was having this conversation. I'm like, what's he talking to? But he was having this deep conversation. And he's only 19 years old in the physical reality. He's having this deep conversation. I'm like, hey, he's talking about the grown man. Okay, I am complete. Asking this little girl that he had just met. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know, what do you think? What are things you like? What you into? You know how what you still at home with your parents? I mean, he was having a whole interview up in there. I was like, okay, Black dog. To see if you have substance. I am complete. And so that is very important for a woman in the physical reality to do that with her children, to see if she's sitting up there creating the zero or that one that's gonna get with a multiplier and go create some generational blessings, abundance. Some children that are like him. God made man in the likeness of him. Right? So I take this kind of stuff personal. Wait a minute, wait. I ain't raising no ducks. I'm making men in the likeness of me. What your mind look like, boy? What you doing when I'm not around, boy? What kind of language, what kind of dialogue? Are you low frequency when I'm not around? Because I ain't raising no duck. Women is very, very important for you to do this. Whether daddy there or daddy not there. It's important as a mother. This is part of nurturing, because you want to give, so that way, when he get with if you have a son, when he get with his multiplier, he'll multiply and have a sum over zero. So for some of you, back to my point earlier, some of these women don't know that they're multipliers. Some of these women are low frequency. And to you men that support me, when you get to your oneness, you reject them. Yep, I said it. Reject them. Don't waste your oneness trying to multiply with a zero, because regardless, if there's a zero in the mathematical problem, the sum is going to be zero. If she a little chicken head when you met her, if she doesn't know herself when you met her, this ain't time for no science project. No low frequency when you get low frequency, when you see absorb, and you know low frequency easy when you won already, because it stands out, because you know darn well that ain't your energy that you feeling. Oh, bless his heart, bless her heart. I know low frequency as soon as I see it. Oh, bless his heart. I say to myself in my habitual thought, oh, bless his heart, look at him. Oh, he gonna get it. Maybe not in this lifetime, but he gonna get it. And so to you men that support me and follow me, if you tap into your oneness, don't you go trying to multiply with zero, because your one time that zero is gonna enter into a chicken head, zero. So both of y'all gonna be chicken head. So let's talk about the intertwining. No, none of that. None of that. We ain't building nothing. Let's get into the intertwining, and then I'm going in this video. So we talked about the intertwining yesterday, and how when a woman intertwine with a zero, then you know they get in the zero. But men, I want to teach you something about your essence too, because you do have an essence here. Hey, Robert, thank you for patience, Drew. I like that. I like that. Yes, yes. Leave the chicken heads alone. For what, God? For what? Let the dead bury himself, God. So here we go. I gotta talk in the little codes because I'm on TikTok. So here we go. Well, you got the tree trunk. You know what I mean when I say the tree trunk, right? Y'all know what I mean when men I'm talking to you, the tree trunk, the eggplant. Okay. So yesterday I was talking about how when you, if you're at zero and you constantly putting the eggplant, in the salad and stuff. Well, you could make, if you're zero, you could make the eggplant not multiply. You could make her dumb, pretty much is what I was saying. You could make her a chicken head because you're zero and you constantly putting this eggplant and all of this salad dressing that come from the eggplant inside of her. And then now she's dumb. She a chicken head just like you because you were zero. Well, guess what? If you won, y'all hear me today? If you won as the man and you go messing with a zero, into a chicken head, you could get messed up with your oneness too. And here's how I go. In relations, the portal of life is an opening, right? And so this has to do with relations when the woman is in her is kind of like on the top of the tree trunk, right? She climbed the tree. Y'all getting me? Y'all understand what I'm saying? The woman climbed the tree. Say yes if y'all understand this here, because this how I gotta talk. So the woman to climb the tree. And you get it? Okay, good. So if the woman to climb the tree, that means you laying down, right? Okay. So if the woman to climb the tree, come on, London, the tree trunk, the eggplant, the woman to climb the tree, and you laying down. Now her essence, her juices from on the walls of her portal of life, or going into the bottom of the tree trunk. There's an opening at the bottom of the tree trunk, if you can follow what I'm saying here. Okay, there's an opening at the tip of the bottom of the tree trunk, if you get what I'm saying here. So all of the way that she think, all of her essence, from the way that she think, all the way down to her spinal column, all the way down to inside, all of her essence, her coupling fluids that's on the walls of her fertilized soil. Now some of it is getting into the tip, the bottom of that tree trunk, and it's penetrating because you laying down, and she's on top of the tree. And so being that you laying down, it's penetrating inside of the root of that tree. And it's going inside of you. And so this is why they'll say sayings about, oh, he whipped. You getting me? Oh, he whipped. Now you let some essence of her nothingness, if this is a chicken head that we're talking about, you let an essence of her nothingness get inside of you at the tip of your root, of your trunk, of your tree, of your eggplant. You see what I'm saying? Now you laying down and she's penetrating in you, and you now will be underneath her foolish chicken-headed command of her nothingness. Her nothingness. You were one now, but you lay down on your back and you let her climb the tree, and she had zero to offer you because she was a chicken head. And now we're back to the mathematical equation. Your one times that zero equals zero. That's what happens when you mess with a chicken head that don't know herself. So you leave them chicken heads alone too, because she was supposed to be the multiplier. Her nothingness. Yes, that's what I said. She was supposed to be the multiplier for you. She was supposed to multiply your one and bring life. But her portal of life was not a portal of life. It was a portal of death, because she didn't know herself. And so she brought death to whatever the sum of that equation is. She brought death. One, your oneness plus her zero brought you back to zero. Now you can't get ahead in a relationship with her. Now everything that you tried to do, you wondering why I'm not succeeding in my business. Because you got a zero. You got a portal of death. And it penetrated inside of you, and her essence is now inside you. And now you just acting just as dumb as all outdoors. Just like the man yesterday that we were talking about. Well, guess what? The man yesterday that we were talking about that offered nothingness, there's a woman today in the physical reality that's walking around and she's offering nothingness to you. And you're having these relations with her, and her fluids are fluids because you so busy worried about the fact that she could put it down. You don't realize she putting something down inside of you, making you stupid as all outdoors. And so they'll say these things. Oh, he gone, they'll say he whipped, with the tree branch. We'll clean it up like that. He whipped. And yeah, he really is. All of his oneness that he worked on, providing, protecting, professing, he gone pacone over this here because he got whipped. But he don't realize everything that he was actually working on with his oneness, all that he put in to get into to know himself, got taken away from him because he was dealing with a chicken head. An empty vessel that didn't know that she was a multiplier. So to you men, I say, leave low frequency alone. Leave the nothingness alone. And you get your multiplier that knows herself, that knows her God self, that knows how to tap into herself, that knows her yin and yang energy. And see, some of you, and I want since I'm talking about this yin and yang energy, some of you, being that you still on mama's breast milk, you don't really want to deal with a woman that kind of like have that yin and yang, because you ain't at your total oneness. And some of you get afraid of the fact that she has that masculine and feminine energy. But it grow into the idea of loving a woman that knows how to do the yin and yang. Because least you stumble, she's able to protect. Least you got to go away. You ain't got to worry about her. Because she's whole. She's a multiplier. And on top of being a multiplier, she knows herself. Knows her essence of how to sit there and just be. But yet she ain't an empty vessel. She ain't a chicken head. Understand and begin to appreciate that. Because being that she's embodied the totality of God, and she ain't just one, and she embraced all of essence of herself, that means her multiplier is greater. Come on now. That means if you one and she the multiplier, she ain't just one multiplier. She's tripling it. She's maybe up to a 9, the highest numerical digit, a single digit. So she can multiply you 9 times. Behind every great man, I'm telling you, lies a great multiplier. Men, get you a good multiplier. I'm not talking about a 9 is in her beauty. I'm talking about a 9-fold is for her ability to bring forth 9 lives. 9 lives as it pertains to health, wealth, successful communication and relationship, her essence. Yeah. Abundance. Y'all getting this here? Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for being here. Hey, Daphne, Light Force, get swiped from you, playing around. Yes, you better believe it. Yes. So make sure you are with a multiplier and not a chicken head is my message for you men out there in the physical reality. So your total sum can be greater than a 0. And all of this that I'm speaking of, I'm breaking it down to you all in layman's terms, but this is everything that I teach in the blood type connection course. There are certain blood types or bloodlines that you must stay away from. And if I was just to give my valuable information in my work for my course, if I could put it on a screen, you'll see clear as day. Oh, this is the person that she was talking about. This is the bloodline here that I need to stay away from, because they're only here to teach me lessons. They're not here to assist me in the game of life to win. There are energies out there in the physical reality, whether we're talking about a woman or a man. If you don't know yourself, they're only here to repeat, giving you a different avatar, teaching you the same lesson over and over. This is why people get out of relationship where they had an abusive man, and because they are still on that frequency and still don't know no better and still don't know nothing about no bloodline connection, they end up, oh my God, they got another abusive relationship. How in the heck do you go from one abusive relationship and get in another abusive relationship when there are people like me, there are many others like me that never had not one abusive relationship? Because you are making a bloodline connection with the same bloodline each time. The bloodline that ain't serving you no well. The zero that I'm talking about. You constantly messing with the zeros out there because you are attracted to the zero. Why are you still attracted to the zero? Because you zero. Because you don't know yourself. This is what it's all boiling down to. I could put it in any kind of way, but it's a bloodline thing. They talked about the blood in the biblical text, the blood of the Lamb, the blood of Jesus. Don't marry into this bloodline. It's all about the blood. And we like to say in the physical reality, oh, we all bleed the same color blood. Baby, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. There are bloodlines out here that you need to stay away from, point blank, period, because they serve you no good in this matrix. Everything coded. Everything coded. And this is why we end up with these things called soul ties and these soul connections. We're connected together. We're connected together with a bloodline that wreak havoc on our body. It's almost like accepting blood from an A. Then tainted his own blood because he can't accept no darn blood from no A. Because he is the original bloodline. His blood is more richer than that. He has so much of substance. He done already became one. In the A bloodline, it's been tainted. It's the opposite of his. And so when it tries to connect, the body is rejecting it. Your body be rejecting relationships. But because you lay down and allow them fluids from whether a woman is on top or the man on top, you let that other person fluid, not just semen, but the chemicals get inside of you, then you start being crazy. Even though your body rejected you crazy, it's just like you being on crack. This is why they say love is a drug. When you're being stupid and the stupid kind of love, this is what's happening to your body chemically. You on drugs. You up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, looking for somebody with a flashlight because you're on drugs. You done made a blood connection with a bloodline that ain't serving you, that got you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you don't even realize it. Everybody else, we see it, but you don't see it. You're like, damn, I wonder what she's seeing, huh? I wonder what he's seeing here. I wonder why they got together. That's strange. I don't see it. I don't see it. Why is she messing with him? Why is he gone like that over her? Something must be in the water. No, it's in the chemical connection. This is why in the biblical text they tell you be fruitful and multiply. But you got to have a multiplier to do that. You got to have a multiplier to multiply. Okay? Y'all got that? I just wanted to leave this behind for my boys in the physical reality. Have this here lesson figured out in life. And I'm proud of that. And for those women or men that don't know this part, figure this part out for your children, for you, for your legacy. In order for you generationally to have generational wealth as it pertains to consciousness, as it pertains to mindfulness, as your generation become fruitful and it multiply. Gone are the days we need to be connecting with blood types that are not serving us. Gone are the days where we need to be in relationships that are not serving us. This is akin to the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is written in the biblical text in the book of Revelation, where people are going to get to a season of not wanting to give in to marriage because there's so many people that's not dealing with their trauma in the physical reality. There's so many zeros is what I'm saying out there. There's only 2 people in the physical reality. And if we could sum this video up, all I'm talking about is a conscious man or woman versus an unconscious man or woman. All is God having a human experience. This abides by the law of polarity, saying that all things are going to be 2 sides. If there's going to be a multiplier in this matrix, guess what? We got to have a zero, a flat line that ain't multiplying nothing in this matrix. Because we have to have 2 sides of everything. Okay? I want you to understand this for your children, for your family, especially for your little boys. Because we in the physical reality, we're known as Mother Nature. Women. Breathe nurturing abilities, breathe life, help your boys become a multiplier. And I don't mean nothing about what they have in their pocket. I'm talking about their substance for their soul, their greater good. Because this stupid high value stuff on TikTok and social media we got men with money that they ain't won yet either. I worked with them in corporate America that have no substance on the inside, have the money, but still don't know how to protect, provide, and profess their love to themselves. The lowest of self-concepts. The lowest of knowing for self, but they know what's going on in office as it pertains to their numbers there. They know who's in a higher position, who job they want. They know those things, but they know nothing about themselves. I'm talking about building up your children and your generation with wealth inside, that they know that there's substance, that they know that they're everything, even if they have nothing. That's the real high value. That's the real high value woman. That's the real high value man. It is the one that's able to give back to this universe because they know themselves. They're one with themselves. They don't provide for themselves. They don't protect themselves. They don't profess the I amness that is within themselves first before you could give this to anybody. This is aching. If you can't do this, that means your cup ain't even full. And if you out there trying to give somebody of your empty cup, shame on you, because you are the zero that I'm talking about today. Okay? Choose this day whom you will serve. Yeah. Choose this day. I am Calvin. Hey, you got it? Calvin got it. Dude got it. Jamyrin, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Got it. Hey, Goddess Monique. Got it. It's very hard to live with an unconscious spouse. Your knowledge is greatly appreciated and needed. And the biblical text taught you this here. See, that Bible has some hidden gems, and I'm not into religion. It talked about being unequally yoked. Unequally yoked, if we put it together on this video, that means somebody in the equation is a zero. Somebody is a zero. That's when you're unequally yoked. The only way you get equally yoked is if that man is in his oneness and that woman knows that she's the multiplier. That's when you're equally yoked. But if you're dealing with a man or a woman who's a zero, of course you're equally yoked. Of course you're equally yoked, because your sum will always be zero. Everything you touch will end up being zero when you multiply the two of you. The two shall become one. The two shall become one. The two shall become one. Now, I done gave you the message. You do what you want to do with your, I'm proud of you. Oh, thank you. I'm so proud of you. The two shall become one. Make sure you whatever you intertwining with, that you ain't becoming zero. Okay? This video was from my heart to yours. Be blessed, baby. Be fruitful and multiply.